welcome everybody to my video, or welcome back if you've been here before. How are you doing? Today in this video, I am playing Natural Disaster Survival on Roblox, and you will see that I do not win any game. I know a lot of people say, oh, that game, it's so easy, you can win it no problem. For some reason, I do not win a single game. I have no idea why. At the very end, you will see that I rage quit. Just because I don't know, I played a couple games and I never won a single one. It's ridiculous. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. So, today I'm going to be discussing Girl Scouts. Now, the reason I decided to discuss this topic is because today at work, I work at a pet store, my boss allowed a field trip to our store from Girl Scouts. So the Girl Scouts came in, and they came in for their pet badge, which I thought was so adorable. But in all honesty, I don't like Girl Scouts. I'm sorry if you are a Girl Scout. I'm sorry if your child is a Girl Scout. But I don't like Girl Scouts. There's something about Girl Scouts. When you say that you're a Girl Scout, there's just something bratty about Girl Scouts. And I know I'm putting all of them in one category. But it's true. They can be quite bratty. They can be quite entitled. And I think it's because, I don't know, maybe it's the background that a lot of these Girl Scouts come from. So, yeah. Anyway, when I was a kid, I never in my wildest dreams thought of being a Girl Scout. Never. I never even considered it. I don't even think that anyone I knew was a Girl Scout. I don't think I knew any Girl Scouts growing up as a kid. And if someone I did know was a Girl Scout, I didn't know that they were a Girl Scout. Just in case one of those people that I knew when I was younger, well, they won't even know it's me, but just in case they find out. I didn't know you were a Girl Scout. You never told me you were a Girl Scout, so how was I supposed to know that you're a Girl Scout? But yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't enticing to me. I never thought of being a Girl Scout. And I would love to hear from Girl Scouts in the comments. Did you want to be a Girl Scout when you were younger, or did you want to be something else? Me personally, I've always wanted to do dance. As a kid, I was like, oh, I want to do dance class, and I tried a few classes. I did horseback riding as a kid too. I'd much rather go horseback riding than be a Girl Scout. So that was the mindset that I had for these children that were going to walk into my store. And little did I know how right I'd be. I'd be so correct. These children, they're bratty. And I was right. So my bad. I lost my train of thoughts because I was just thinking about how the kids were acting. They were just very obnoxious. And it could have been that they were also excited. Or it could just be that they're children and that's just how they act. I don't know if that's just how they act at a pet store because I've worked with children before. These girls, they were probably like second, third grade, maybe first grade, a couple of them, just because some of them looked quite tiny, but no older than 9. But they definitely varied from age range. It wasn't like one grade that came in, like they were all third grade or all second grade, definitely not. Just because of the way that they were acting, I could tell. Because when I did summer camp, I did second and third graders, and that's how old they seemed to look. I didn't ask how old they were. It's just intuition. But they were like I said, they were quite bratty. They were rowdy. There was one child, she was crying, and I had no idea why she was crying. I really, really didn't. There was no reason to cry. No other child cried. It just seemed like maybe she wanted attention or she didn't get her way, that she just started to cry. But I will say, although I have been saying a lot of negative things about the Girl Scouts, that they were bratty and they were obnoxious, and it wasn't all of them. That's what I'm trying to say. There were a few children that were quite calm, collected. They were quiet or they could have been shy, but they seemed to be okay. The thing is, my point of view of Girl Scouts completely shifted. As a person, I always thought of myself of what I was going to do with my children once they were older. And one of those things was not Girl Scouts. I never thought to myself, oh, I'm going to put my children in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, whatever. It just wasn't something on my radar. There's so many other activities that children could do that seemed more enticing. They just seem more active compared to Girl Scouts. But now I completely know that is not true. And the moment that I realized that was when the children turned around and they had badges all over their vest, all over the back. Some of them had more than others. And going through, giving them the tour, they got excited and it got really loud. My managers looked at me and they were bamboozled. They were so shocked at how loud they are because we've had other children come into the store before and they were never that rowdy. And it was hard to maintain all of them. There were times where some would walk away and the leader or a parent wouldn't say anything to them. I think it might have been a lack of authority just because some kids aren't going to listen to some parents because they don't know them, or they'll only listen to the leader, but the leader clearly lacked authority as well, where she'd be like, guys, come here. And there were times where I wanted to go back into my summer camp memories and start being like, guys, come over here. Like, I just wanted to yell, but obviously they weren't my kids, and I can't yell at them, especially when I'm working. I might have gotten in trouble by my own boss if I were to bring out my summer camp voice. And if you ever worked at summer camp, you really have to yell sometimes to capture a child's attention. Just because you're outside, they could be far away from you. So there's more reasons to be loud outside compared to inside, as we all know. But I couldn't just yell at children to get their attention. It wasn't going to work for me. But the scout leader wasn't doing much, unfortunately, while we were all together as a group. Once they divided into groups, then they were a little bit more calm, luckily, because it was 4 or 5 kids per adult. So the adult was able to control the children because there was less of them. So, my god, my cat is scratching my door. Anyways, so moving forward, they start to do a scavenger hunt. And in scavenger hunt, they had to get things off the shelves and put them in their basket that, depending on their scavenger hunt, said. So one of the things that it said was, pick a toy that looks like a food item. And they would get a dog toy that looks like a pizza, or a dog toy that looks like a hamburger. And then in the cat section, there were cat toys that look like a cupcake, things like that. And in my head, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to put all of these back. I'm gonna have to put all of these back when they're when they're done. And there's things that I had to do after they left. I had to go in the back to clean bird cages, and I only had an hour left of my shift. How am I going to go and put all of these things back that these children were collecting and have enough time to clean all of those bird cages within the hour that I had left? It wasn't possible. It's not possible. So they were picking stuff up, and I was helping them look for certain things. Like one kid asked me, "Where's the fish food?" So I pointed to the fish food, and they had to pick their own fish food that they wanted. So that's what they did. And you know, I just had to deal with it. If I had to put all that stuff back, then I have to put all that stuff back. There's nothing that I can do about that. But then when they were done with their scavenger hunt, the leader said, and us Girl Scouts, we always put things back better than we left it. That's exactly what she said. That's a Girl Scout motto that they have. To put things back better than how they left it. I was like, no way. And so the girls, they started to put all the things back exactly where they found them. And I was in shock. I was like, no way that these girls just. And yes, they were still rowdy, but they put everything back where they were supposed to go. I I'm still speechless about that because that's definitely something that I want to teach my kid. And now knowing that they have those little, I don't even know, like phrases. They have those little phrases in place of things that they're supposed to do correctly. I'm like, oh my god, so you're telling me that this woman is going to raise my children for me. They're going to teach them right from wrong. So sign me up. I don't mind that because sometimes I need that too. You know, sometimes I need that too. Someone teach me right from wrong. My parent lacked in that department, but someone else could teach it for me. I mean, I'm sure my children, they're going to be raised correctly. I know they're going to be raised correctly. But having someone help and teaching them other morals and principles that a child might need to be a productive citizen, that doesn't sound too bad. And I don't know how much Girl Scouts cost. Like, it might be a lot, but it might be worth it. I don't know. And the kids came back in and they brought me a basket of dog toys that they made. And I was so shocked. They made these dog toys out of t-shirts and they knotted them up. They made big ones, small ones, different color ones. And in my head, I was like, these dogs are not going to play with them. And what we did is we put them in a basket where a shelter can come pick up food that we have in the store that people donate or the store donates, and they can also pick up the toys now. Usually we don't give toys, we usually give food, but they can do that. And you know what? I actually brought home one of the toys, and my dog played with it, and he liked it. And he doesn't like most toys, but he liked this one. I played tug of war with him, and he loved it a lot. So I now approve of Girl Scouts.